differentiate maturational, behavioral, and constructivist developmental theories in terms of ages, stages, and individual differences. Maturational theory. In terms of individual differences, it is developed by Dr. Arnold Giselle, an American psychologist and pediatrician. Giselle's maturation theory focused on the physical and mental development of children. He suggested that patterns of development are determined by the individual's heredity. Maturational theory, it stated that the child's growth or development is influenced by two major forces. First, the child is a product of his or her environment, but more fundamentally, Giselle believed that the child's development is directed from within, by the act of the genes, and Giselle called this process as maturation. So in maturational theory, genes and environment play a very important role. Why? Because genes or environment helps in immediately developing the physical and mental skills of the child. So, in terms of age, the process of maturation does not end in adulthood, but continues during the entire lifespan of a person. The process of aging in adulthood is called senescence, which considered how people develop and or deteriorate starting in early adulthood and ending at death in late adulthood. Maturational theory in terms of stages. According to Giselle, growth can be thought of as a cyclical spiral, and one cycle includes smooth, which is the first stage, and in this stage, these are the characteristics of the children. Loves role-playing, imitating adults such as cooking, hammering, and taking on the phone. The next stage is breakup or sorting out. The characteristic of the children in this stage are inflexible, cannot adapt or give in or wait, no is used often, loves to conform and cooperate, likes to share, loves new words, and language development has improved tremendously. Next is inwardizing. In this stage, the characteristics of the children in this stage is tremendous change, marked insecurity, and lack of coordination. The next stage is expanding. The characteristic of the children in this stage is tireless bundle of energy, language may shock you, and in drawing tends to improve. Lastly, neurotic. The characteristic of the children in neurotic stage or age of opposition, uncertainty, and unpredictability, may have nightmare and borrow characteristics from adjacent age. One example of maturational theory in the classroom is the idea that younger children are more likely to learn through concrete experiences, while older children are more likely to learn through abstract concepts. Constructivist theory. In terms of individual differences, constructivist theory is based on the historical works of Piaget and Vygotsky. It is learning using prior knowledge and connecting it to new information. Constructivist theory is the theory that says learners construct knowledge rather than just passively take in information. As people experience the world and reflect upon those experiences, they build their own representations and incorporate new information into their pre-existing knowledge. So, in constructivist theory, children make new information through constructing their knowledge and form it into a new one. And in terms of age, constructivist theory happens from birth to adult age. And for the stages, Vygotsky created three stages of speech and language development, which are the external, egocentric, and inner speech. External speech happens or begins at birth to age 3. External speech is when babies learn through interactions from their caregivers. Babies learn how to share what they need and also learn that can earn approval and disapproval from their caregivers. Next is egocentric speech. This occurs from ages 3 to 7. It focuses on an egocentric child using the social aspect of thinking out loud to solve problems and then remember them for the next time. Next is inner speech, which occurs when older children up to adult age. Inner speech can essentially have two modes for speech: an inner conversation where they talk to themselves and a verbal conversation. If Vygotsky has different stages, which includes the external speech, egocentric speech, and internal speech, Jean Piaget has also different stages in cognitive development. And if you do not know Jean Piaget, he is known as one of the first theorists in Constructivism. His theories indicate that humans create knowledge through the interaction between their experiences and ideas. And the first stage by Jean Piaget is the sensory motor stage. This stage focuses on physical sensations and on learning to coordinate his or her body. Next is pre-operational stage. At the beginning of this stage, the child does not use operations, so the thinking is influenced by the way things appear rather than logical reasoning. Next is the concrete operational stage. By the beginning of the concrete operational stage, the child can use operation, so he or she can converse quantities. During this stage, children begin to think logically about concrete event, or begin to understand the concept of conservation. Informal operational stage. In this stage, the child gains the ability to think in an abstract manner, the ability to combine and classify items into a more sophisticated way, and the capacity for higher order reasoning. Behavioral theory. In terms of individual differences, it is based upon the theories of theorists John B. Watson, Ivan Pavlov, and B. F. Skinner. Behavioral theories of child development on how environmental interaction influences behavior. So, behavioral theory focuses on the idea that all behaviors are learned through interaction with the environment. This learning theory states that behaviors are learned from the environment and says that innate or inherited factors have very little influence on behavior. In terms of age, behavioral theory is experienced at different ages in childhood, directly dictate personality and behavior patterns in the later adult. In terms of stages, behavioral theory has 6 different stages in terms of behavioral change according to the trans-theoretical model of change. So first is a pre-contemplation stage. At this stage, people are not yet aware of the negative behavior they need to change. Next is contemplation stage. At this stage, people are aware of the negative consequences or problems, but they are not yet ready to change their unhealthy behavior. Next is preparation or determination stage. This is the phase when a person is ready to make a change. They become committed to changing and motivated to take the necessary steps. Next is action stage. At this stage, people use the strategies they learned in the previous phase to start a new healthy behavior. Next is maintenance stage. In this stage, people have made progress and realized the benefits of changing. Lastly is the relapse stage. This stage is when people slip back into their old behavior and habits. Relapsing is a normal part of the process of change. So, as a teacher, look for new and better strategies to deal with it. So, the difference between the three is that in maturational theory, children learn and enhance their skills according to their genes. And in constructivist theory, children learn and enhance their skills and capabilities through constructing their own knowledge. While in behavioral theory, children learn, develop, and enhance all their skills through the interaction of the environment.